Hello and welcome to another episode of Bare Bones Wargaming, a show with no bells, no whistles, no frills, just a man, a camera, and his game. On this episode, we are going to be taking a look at an unboxing of a game that I just got literally this morning, landed on my doorstep, that was just released very recently. It's one of the top 2 or 3 new releases on ConsimWorld's main homepage. And it's a game that I understand people have been looking forward to the quote-unquote second edition of. This is the deluxe edition, which you'll see here in a minute on the cover. So I might go a little bit slower in this unboxing video just to kind of show things a little bit more, since folks have been waiting for this second edition for quite a while from what I understand. Or at least this deluxe edition anyway. I myself decided to pick it up to give it a shot, partly because well, to be honest, I have a little money to play with. I sold my entire comic book collection late last year, which gave me a nice chunk of change, which is allowing me to buy some games, to be honest, that I've been kind of on the bubble about. And this is one game that I have, has definitely been bubble-ish, isk. I don't know if you can do that, who cares. Anyway, so just a little heads up there with what's going on. So without further ado, let's take a look and see what's inside Midway Deluxe Edition from Avalanche Press, the Second World War at Sea game by Mike Benninghoff. You can see there. The box came this way, no shrink wrap, by the way. You can see the back there. If you know anything about the Second World War at Sea series, this should all look very familiar to you. Okay? So, the one thing I have to admit that drew my attention was this right here. 50 scenarios. 50! Including some carrier raids, some smaller ones to kind of get you used to the system, which is very cool. I believe, if I remember reading correctly online, there are some scenarios of like the carrier raids on Wake Island and stuff. So, that's cool. Alright, let's find out what's inside the box. It's a standard Avalanche Press box. I mean, if you've bought their products before. So, what's inside the box? Okay, hot off the press. Copyright 2021, you can see there. So, let's go ahead and we'll zoom in. Whoop, we're going the wrong way. Here we go. Okay, so, introduction, got the credits there. This is very much an Avalanche Press kind of rulebook. You can see it's very much the black and white kind of thing. I think this is the basic rulebook here, even though they're kind of starting with special rules. That's interesting. Or maybe this is not the basic rulebook. Maybe this is more about, this might be more of the scenarios here. Okay, so there's the scenarios. Alright, so let's see. The basic rulebook, let me see if I can find it here in the box. Ah, here it is. Okay, so I found the basic rulebook here, the series rules, if you will. So there they are. So let's keep looking at this. As you can see, it's not staying open very well. But Midway Strikes Back, Midway Island Attack, these are battle scenarios, Yamaguchi Strike, which unfortunately for the Japanese, unfortunately for us, he went down with the Soryu, I think. Or was it the Hiryu? One of those two, I know that for sure. Many planes headed to Midway, so there's lots of small scenarios here. As you can see, lots of stuff about Midway. Midway Second Attempt, Shattered Cruiser, Second Air Fleet. That's interesting. Yamamoto could have quickly reconstituted his air element with 4 carriers. Just as many flight decks as Nagomu had lost days earlier. There has been some discussion about that idea, but then they really wouldn't do stuff. Here's Chapter 2, so it looks like the chapters are all about one particular type of scenario. So we have the chapter there with Wake Island. The relief of Wake Island, which of course did not happen. Probably, in some ways, probably better it did not happen. Fletcher's Cruisers, American Vengeance, Battleship Night Action, Wake Island Raid, which I was just talking about a little bit ago. Nice little small scenario, you can see. Not much to that. Midway Alternatives, of course, naturally. right up my alley, as you all know, because I always like to play around with things. Fighter defense, operational delay. Let's see, Midway Alternatives attack, full strike. I understand there's a Pearl Harbor deal here too somewhere. Perhaps towards the end, because we are pretty close to the end. Let's see what's on this page here, because clearly this looks like the end of the chapter. Pearl Harbor, alright, cool. Oh, there's a tribute to Dory Miller, very cool. East Wind Rain, okay, so we got that. And this is No Drill, another battle scenario. So there's like bigger scenarios and battle scenarios for each of these. Okay, very cool. Very bland though, as you can see, compared to other companies, which we see a lot nowadays. So, but 60 pages worth of scenarios. Here's the series rules, which again looks like it's a pretty basic standard kind of rule book. Yep, just kind of starts off right away with, let me slide it over there a bit more. The rules has the information about counters, which we're, used to seeing and such. I'm not seeing a whole lot of examples, but I may be overlooking them. Plotting movement, initiative determination, exiting tactical board, ship damage, torpedo combat, emergency repairs, damaged ships. Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot of examples here. So for those folks that are new to this, we have lots of rules, but I'm not seeing, let's see towards the end. Yeah, optional rules. Yeah, not a whole lot there with that. Okay, alright. Let's see what else is in the box. So again, kind of very vanilla. Or as one of my teaching friends used to like, she said, I love people who love things and hate things, but I can't stand the beige people. The ones who are just kind of, I don't know, about things. Okay, here is the log sheet for your ships. Your task force mission. Alright. Let's see. Second World War C, other tables, submarine combat, ASW Hunter Killer aircraft. Submarine attack factors. Well, that's nice. That's a pretty good player aid card. Nice backdrop. Like it. You got air-sea tables, takeoff and landing, cap interception, all those kinds of things. Air search, which of course is big for any game. That's going to be about Pacific theater. Some more target location, air-to-air combat, land bombings, air-launched torpedoes. Okay. And we got another one here. This is at sea. The combat tables here. Task force contact, gunnery, and ship launch torpedoes. So if you have like Savo Island and stuff, although obviously in this kit you wouldn't because this is Midway and Pearl. Running aground. Okay. Pursuit, emergency repairs. Alright, very cool. Lots of good information there. Here's some other tables. Whoops, get a little ahead of myself. Got two cards here. MTB. Merchant shipping. Okay. Alright. Definitely covers a lot of ground. And we got two task force cards here, it looks like. Yep. Task force and flight cards that we have. One for each side. Very cool. Clearly, as you can probably tell from this already, this is going to be a big footprint kind of game. Alright, then we have the tactical map, which once you get off the strategic map and you engage the enemy in the square, then bam, down to the tactical map. I remember the first time I ever saw this was years ago when I was just starting to discover all the different game companies that were out there. I found Avalanche Press through an ad. I forget in which magazine it was. Can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, I got the Russo-Japanese Naval War game, the War at Sea, World, I forget what the line of series games is called for that. But the first time I ever saw that was with that. So there's your tactical map if you get involved in gunnery combat. Then we got our ship data book. Okay, oh, let's turn it here this way. Cruisers, torpedo speed, fuel, secondary, tertiary. Okay, destroyers, they're all there too. Okay, so again, a fair amount of record keeping with this particular game system. And, oops, sorry about that, earthquake. Oh, well, this is neat. Here we got a Pearl Harbor tactical map showing you where everybody's at and what's going on that day on Pearl Harbor. I wonder if they allow for the carriers to be caught, because of course to me that's always one of the more interesting things about the Pearl Harbor raid, is do you let the carriers, set opportunity for the carriers to show up and be caught. Then we got the maps, and the maps, the game maps if you will, are, let me get this unfolded. Maps are a little on the thin side, I have to admit. But this is where all the movement takes place. Again, little unconventional. You got squares, but you can see here from the map. Let me pull this back out a little bit more. There we go. Let's try and center it a little bit better for you guys. There we go. Got Hawaii down here. You got Pearl. Here's Midway all up here. Johnston Island's down here. Okay, so that's the one map sheet, and these are map sheets, as you can see, in the big bumps, I'm sure. And then the second map, let's see what the second map is. Well, this obviously is going to be Wake Island, the Marshalls, I would assume, because since they have Wake involved, although I didn't look that carefully, I would think they would probably also have scenarios for the raids in the Marshall Islands as well. Alright, here we go. Oops. Maps are not proving cooperative. Yeah, because there's the Marshalls down there toward the bottom. Lots and lots of empty sea. Which, of course, you know, unsurprising. So there's Wake Island. I'm not even going to try these ones down here, except for maybe Macon, because I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. But here's the other islands of the Marshall Islands. So that's the Marshalls. So that's what you get for your territory, what you're covering here. So that's that. And that map sheet. Get that folded back up again. Give it a second here. While I get Humpty Dumpty back together, so to speak. Because there is more in the box. Okay, Midway Allied Aircraft Carriers. Alright. So, oh, interesting. They allow for the possibility of other carriers at Midway. Not just what showed up historically, but there's a spot for the Saratoga, Yorktown, Wasp even. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Alright. Very neat. Then we've got Airbase card. Here, Allied Air Bases, Axis Air Bases. Oh, actually, it should be sideways there. You got all different islands. Johnston. This one's a little hard to read on the picture here, but yeah. So Marcus Island, Hawaii itself. Okay, so there's the Air Bases card. And more cards. Like I said, this game clearly has a large footprint. These are the Japanese carriers. And they do have listed the Shikoku and the Zuikaku. So it is possible to have them at Midway if you want to play around and see what would happen if the entire Kido Butai had shown up there. If they'd have been like, yeah, let's not do Coral Sea. Let's just send all 6 of these mothers to Midway and see what happens. Or the other way around. They could have sent all 6 to the Coral Sea, of course. That would have been trouble. Alright, getting towards the bottom of the box finally here. We got counters. Lots of them. Whew, those half-inch ones are a little rough on the old eyes. But, well, you know. You can see there, you can see the difference between them. I'll come back out here a little bit. There we go. And the bigger ship counters. So the ship counters are nice. I like the ship counters. But yeah, the airplane counters are Yeah, they're a little smaller. And let's see, we have 2 more counter sheets in here. So we've got all the big stuff there, the aircraft carriers. And here's destroyers and such for the Japanese. And battleships, I should say battleships for the Japanese, and cruisers. The destroyers are actually in front of me. I was talking about the one I'm holding in my hand. Like that does you guys in good. There's a 3rd sheet of counters here. Again, U.S. battleships on here, Japanese destroyers, U.S. destroyers, right cruisers, which of course were obsolete by then. All of that. So that's what's inside the box. There is a ton of stuff in there, as you can see. But again, this is a game system, also, as you can see, that's very detailed. So it is not for the faint of heart. But I'll give it a go. I mean, you know, I'm into a big Pacific Theater run right now. I'm even toying with, because I have enjoyed it so much, that Terra 1 1943 game that I shared with you guys recently that Worthington just made, which they're making an Iwo Jima game, which is totally cool. I've enjoyed it so much that I've started doing some research on like Saipan, Tinian, and Okinawa. Because I have, just to show you here real quick, just to share. I had these books that I found in a used bookstore not too long ago. And you can see they're from, oh, this one doesn't have the stamp. Oh, the other ones have a stamp. But you can see there, that says 1955 on it. So this is from back in the day. But a couple of them, I got a set of them. I got this one, I got one about the, let me see if that one has a stamp on it. I got this one here about the Marines in the Central Solomons. Yeah, there we go. Official use only. April of 53, April 21st. So, some very detailed books with some beautiful, even though they're a little damaged, but some beautiful, beautiful maps showing the area of some of these smaller operations that Halsey was doing down there in the South Pacific. I mean, just, you know, this is what, almost 70 years old, and just look, it still looks so good, even with those couple of spots on the back and stuff. Still looks awesome. So anyway, I'm toying around, taking a look at the game system, and see if I can make my own fan one. I mean, you know, I've never been a patient person, so I figure why not. So, anyway, just to share, if I come up with something I think is feasible, I'll share with you guys when I get that far with it. The other thing I'm hoping to do, and I was hoping to do even before this unboxing, but it hasn't worked out that way, just to let you know, I'm hoping to get an unboxing video done of Conquest and Consequence. It was supposed to be here on Tuesday, but of course, as probably most of you know, we've had different storms here in my state of Virginia, as well as other areas across the South and, well, the Midwest too. And even the Northeast. Buffalo got like 14 inches of snow or something the other day. But anyway, it's somewhere out there. I'm hoping it'll show up tomorrow. But I will say that as soon as I get my hands on it, I will be more than happy to show you guys what's inside the box. I've been anxiously awaiting this because I love Triumph and Tragedy. I think it's a fantastic game, especially sandbox-wise. I find it really good. So I've been champing at the bit to get my hands on Conquest and Consequence, but my copy is not here. Okay, so once again, this is what's inside the box for the Midway Deluxe Edition from Avalanche Press, which was released very, very recently. So if you're interested, you can check it out. And I ordered directly through their website, and it came pretty quick. So I didn't realize they had moved. I thought they were still over in Virginia Beach. They're down in Alabama now. So, all right. So next time, hopefully, Conquest and Consequence is what I'll be showing you what's inside that box in the very near future. That's the plan. All right. So as always, this is Tim Korchnoi from Bare Bones Wargaming, saying thanks for watching, and I will see you again next time, hopefully showing you what's inside the Conquest and Consequence box. Until then, as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.